Offside,
jumped the gun.
defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball.
Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always remember your first interception. He'll always remember this moment.
Poor starting field position here for this offense. They try to pop a run on the draw. Follows a good block there, picks up threes out to the 9. Solid pickup of 4 on first down and 2nd and 6. Wants to go up top. With the catch, it's Miranda. He's pushed out of bounds at the 13 and gives this offense a little room to work.
And quarterback, receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. Back down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Hokies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. And they're not on the same page there. Wow, this offense is doing nothing. They've already punted 4 times and staring at the possibility of a 5th. He's going to throw deep right side. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot. The flag is down. Let's check the call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
An ill-advised play by that defender as he makes contact with the quarterback well after the throw, and it'll cost his defense. Power football with the run. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag.
Holding. Offense.
Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. It'll just make it more satisfying if they can move the chains after starting 1st and 20. Was to pass. Under fire. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. 2nd down coming up. He'll ride his man on the option. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half. 7th play of the drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Got his man downfield. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. He's got an open man. And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense.
When you've already seen your quarterback go down 3 times, you might as well try holding, and they didn't get away with it. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Fires to the tight end. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. Wants to fire on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Working that left side now. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. They'll run it from the gun. He get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down. Right down the middle. Got him downfield. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10. The defense calls the timeout. Their 2nd of the day as they try to get their act together. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Wide receiver going in motion. Back to throw, time running short in the half. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 of the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And the incomplete pass on 3rd down, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's about.
Holding. Offense.
So the penalty will not be enforced. The defensive line stands on the result of the play. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. Dar forced to settle for 3.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. One back in the backfield, he gets the carry. Real power running by this guy as he bangs his way to the 24. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Gentlemen, what else is new? A spirited environment there in Amherst. And this linebacker has left his big old paw prints all over this 1st half. He's been clogging running lanes and forcing turnovers, and even when he's not doing something that shows up on the stat sheet, he's preventing that offense from doing so. A young man with all-American potential. And with that, let's head back to our team inside Alumni Stadium.
Second half just about to get started, and UMass will kick it off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. We're about to get another look at this Hokie offense. Starting this 3rd quarter on the ground. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain. And the Hokies in the hurry-up.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Terrific job getting to him. There was nowhere to go. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chains. Catch in the middle, it's Miranda. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some.
Brings it in down the left side. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26. The Hokies are on the move.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They use those back-to-back explosives to set him up 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. After getting nothing, it's 2nd and goal from the 6. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Third and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. Give him 6. Touchdown, Hokies. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they close it to 17-10. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. The Minutemen going back to work on offense. That lead has been sliced to 7, and now they'll try to put something together here. Into a massive giant bodies, we'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. Looking to throw, it's Allen. They'll run the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Here's the heat. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down. UMass will line up to punt it away. Fair catch is called for in the midst of all this rain. Concentrate on one thing. Make the catch. Going right to work up top. Finds his man. It's Miranda. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Wide open downfield. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped. And the Hokies line it up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
The extra point here would tie the game. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the 3rd. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. The UMass offense returns to the field. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Looking to throw, it's Allen. Dumps it off to the flat. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 25. The Minutemen a bit behind the sticks here on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. UMass will line up to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Offense making its way out of the field to start the drive. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Time running out, and he goes down.
Action pass success has a lot to do with selling that thing. You can tell the defense was not buying it. Got in the backfield, got the big play.
Where's Ali with the I'll be
The Hokies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. To the air on 2nd down. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body. And after the failed connection on 2nd down, this offense faces a 3rd down. He's looking downfield to throw. Pocket breaking down. Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away. And the Hokies will send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. The Minutemen going back to work on offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Got his man on the line. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. The Minutemen can explore that playbook on 2nd and short. The pull and throw off the RPO. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. UMass now faces a 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it. And they'll pick up the 1st down and mark it at the 47. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. To the air, it's Allen. Just a short pass to the tight end. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. UMass comes to the line facing 2nd and short. Running back searching for a hole. They'll make the stop at the 42. It's a pickup of 5, and that will be enough for a 1st down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This UMass offense is moving quickly down the field. Handoff from the gun. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. 6th play of the drive coming up. Using his legs at the work. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. The Minutemen come to the line on 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Serious arm strength on that 3rd down pass, but it's incomplete. And here comes the punt team. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. How about this? It's out of bounds inside the 10, and they're going to mark it right around the 5-yard line. What a great job there. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. Got a good one going here. All tied up in the 3rd. It's 2nd and 10. The inside handoff. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside the 20. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. The Hokies will punt this one away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Wants to bring it back on. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. The UMass offense returns to the field. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Fires left, and he throws his So, guys, we'll see this offense again. To the air on first down. Here's the pressure. Caught over the middle. It's Miranda. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. They'll leave it with him. Got room to work. Breaks into the open. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24. And the Hokies come to the line in the hurry-up.
The defense has got to be more physical up front. Don't let them have those running lanes, those holes to break off a nice run, get a first down. And here's the thing, you better reload quick because they're right back on the line to call another play.
That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. The Hokies have it with a 1st and 10. The give to the tailback. Almost through the pass. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
I think a trait of a running back that you really look for is a guy that can bust tackles. Man, a guy that can make something out of nothing when it's not there. And just a really good job breaking the tackle, continuing to keep the play alive, and never quit.
Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down. And the Hokies pounded the rock to move the sticks now back to work. Take a break to let him be checked out. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking to fire. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Hokies. And with that, they've got the lead here in the 2nd half.
That's number 2 on the day, having a day. I mean, you know he's going to catch the football, and you know he's going to make plays after he catches. Those are the kind of guys that you feature and you find them, and they produce like this, you keep finding them.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. Michigan State is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. Sparty has picked itself up off the canvas before, and this group is capable of it again today.
Use the play fake, now to throw.
It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Michigan. We'll let you know if anything else comes out of Big Ten country from this one, guys.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Scanning the field, it's Allen. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands. Boy, guys, they got off to a great start with that big first play on this drive, but now a couple of incompletions leaves them in a hole. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. UMass will line up to punt it away. They'll get him down at the 21-yard line. The coverage team able to stop him right there. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. To the ground with the back. Fights off the defender. He's stuffed after picking up 1 to the 23. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. That's it for this period, and it's Virginia Tech on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. Back up drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
And you just get the feeling that this defense has to find a way to get off the field and get the football back at this juncture of the game, trailing late if they're going to win.
He leaves it with the back. Fighting off the defender. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up second and 4. The Hokies with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They'll go to work in the air on second down. He's got his man. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Hokies are moving quickly down the field. Wants to go up top on first down. Makes the catch. It's Miranda. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Gonna swing it on second down. Looking left. Makes the grab. It's Worthy. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21.
You know, the defense, they just haven't been able to find an answer for this guy throughout the course of the game. Obviously, he's got 2 touchdowns, picks up the first down there. They've tried doubling him. They've tried man coverage, zone coverage. Nothing working on defense. They can't stop him.
Back to pass on second down. Fires to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go.
Holding. Offense.
This offensive line trying anything to protect the quarterback at this point. Nothing's working, and they'll back up after the holding penalty. Second down, he'll throw it. That's caught. It's Worthy. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires into the end zone. Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. They build this lead here in the fourth, and man, has this been a long time coming as this brutal losing streak is close to ending.
Each and every week, I think this coaching staff does such a good job of scheming ways to get this guy the football in the passing game, and defenses can't cover him. With that last catch, this is now his 10th receiving touchdown on the season.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. The Minutemen going back to work on offense. Things have not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Makes the stop at the 29-yard line, but not before he gets 15 on that play. Looking downfield, it's Allen. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense.
Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. They want to throw it. Fires to the big fella. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. They'll run this play from the pistol. The play action fake. And the Heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line.
And the defense loves being in this type of situation, right? You've got a big lead. It's in the fourth quarter. You know the opponent's going to be throwing the football, so you get your best pass rushers coming off the edge, using that speed, dipping and ripping, getting to the quarterback for another big play.
Now third and long and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the left. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
Oh, beating Stockton's Tyson, Lou, and of course Lord Nice.
They're throwing for it on
Andrew
fourth
Dack
down.
from Minneapolis.
I hate the flipping.
After this late in the game.
The receiver screens never work, man. Fix the game.
They'll try to pump the draw. Little too soft in that run defense. He picks up 4 to the 32. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They feed him again. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. A 3rd down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws toward the end zone. And they couldn't connect on the deep shot. Let's see if things get worse. There's a flag on the field. Which way is this going to go?
Holding. Offense.
They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. The Hokies send out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. And they can't get on top of it to down it, so that ball will come out to the 20. Got the quick completion. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. He'll keep it himself. Shakes off the defender. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The Minutemen with a ton of work to do here on 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Allen. Throws to the wideout. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down.
And
He's got it in more than enough for a 1st down. And they finally made the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the 4th quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
You see a lot of quarterbacks get in trouble when they start forcing things. He did a really good job. He wanted to throw the football. You can tell drops back, nothing open. He's okay. He's going to take off.
This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. UMass now faces a 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the throw. All down, and he has enough to move the chains. This UMass offense is moving quickly down the field. Gets the back moving. Looking to throw on 1st down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. So now it's 2nd and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Short gain on the play before he slides. UMass to the line facing 3rd and long. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Always a welcome play from the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
And when you run that screen, it takes a lot more time to develop because those offensive linemen, remember, they're going to block, release, and go get somebody. Quarterback's got to get rid of that ball a lot faster when you're running those screen plays.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
And Virginia Tech sends the offense onto the field. Didn't get anything done, 3 and out on their last series. They'll try to find a rhythm here. And some room to work. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, he wants it all. And here's the pick. And oh, did they need that right now. Pulled down at the 45-yard line. And that's the kind of ball hawking a defensive coordinator loves to see. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The UMass offense returns to the field. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot. And now let's see if they can pull this one out. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. To throw, it's Allen. Finds his man, it's Traore. And he's brought down after a nice game. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. On target over the middle. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them, they're right back on the football.
Hey, 3. Being out here would be real major.
And you have to get rid of what we call in the very least in order to be able to. But that's, again, a deep conversation for another time. That's a lot else there stuff to unpack. Okay, this is Janata. No, Jayanta. Jayanta. I like Janata.
And the extra point.
Okay, this is Jayanta Banik, who says, "Dear Dr. Tyson, Lord Nice, warm greetings. My name is Jayanta Banik from California. I'd love to get your take on quantum entanglement, exhibiting instantaneous correlations, even though no information can travel faster than light. Could this apparent non-locality be explained by particles being adjacent in a higher spatial dimension, appearing distant only in 3D? Or is the institution fundamentally incompatible with quantum field theory? My intuition is further supported by the recently measured speed of quantum entanglement formation of 232 attoseconds. So, like, the whole deal is, happens in another dimension, which doesn't make a difference what time it takes if you're outside the dimension, and then back here in 3D, instantaneous, faster than light. So, what do you think, Chuck?
First of all, did you pick that question just because we started talking about quantum, or was that question predetermined? In which case, it might have been leading back to the mention we had about quantum entanglement in a sort of a time kind of way. What a coincidence.
That's really what you did there. That's what you did there.
I don't know. Well, it's not what I did. It's what the universe has done because of its strange structure. I don't know. So to answer this very good question, what I would say is that if you invoke an additional dimension to move through literally anything, right? Then you don't have to follow the rules of physics as they currently exist. You just add, as long as you can make the math work, you just add a loop or a different travel time of that information. Okay, so your suggestion that
But this is big. But this is big. This is it. This is my game.
that's physical goes to a different dimension to get from one part thing hair to
Yes.
is a
Yes. Give our offense a chance to breathe.
Looks as if we have an injury on William. We'll take a break to check him out.
You ass gets tested.
A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Wants to throw. It's Allen. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
Hey, Coco showing he's ready.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
They get to him as he throws. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Release to the back. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. And after the big play to start the drive, now 2 straight incompletions, and they need to find a way on third down. Gonna try to get it himself. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down. Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on fourth down.
Oh,
And they desperately
slightly too high for the receiver.
they couldn't make the connection.
Dang.
And this offense does not come up big. Man, you needed that first down. And listen, the communication with this offense and the execution, it's left a little bit to be desired, and especially in a big moment right
Isn't that
here
what
when you
subspace
had to
would
have
be?
a score.
well,
and you had to
subspace
have
is
a
only
fourth down.
vaguely determined
Guys,
into
this is the story we see every single year in college football. Ranked
Yeah, but
teams losing to unranked opponents. Whatever the reason, it adds to the flavor of the season.
It's so
What's up? I'm guarding my left.
Win, Jesse. You start to build your resume, start to build some momentum. So the squad got a good win today.
They sure did. They put the rest of college football on alert with that huge win. And for the team losing, they've now got to be able to turn the page. They got to go back and do some soul searching because they're a much better team than what they showed.
Jay on from California. I'd love to get your take on exhibiting instantaneous correlations
of EA Sports College Football.
We explain that Jason and other players also carrying this only and proving is the institution making now the intuition is person is measured speed and the region of 232 is so, like, the whole deal is, without a convention, which doesn't make a difference what time it takes if you're outside the convention, and then back here in 3D, instantaneous, faster than light. So, what do you think, Chuck?
first of all, did you pick that question just because we started talking about quantum, or was that question predetermined? In which case, it might have been leading back to the convention we had about quantum entanglement in a sort of one-time kind of way. What a coincidence! That's what I see what you did there. Yes, that's what you did there. I did. It's what that universe is because of the strange. So the answer is very quickly.
Four interceptions. I haven't struggled this game.
Additional dimension to life. Right? Then, since as they exist, you just add travel. which quantum entanglement occurs, that is a very experimental result. It needs to be further confirmed. The idea is that it doesn't give us insight as to whether or not intervention is necessary. At the moment, we don't want to go in that direction yet. We don't have enough information to know whether or not that's a fruitful path. So it's a real unknown. It's an unknown.
Accept is faster than light. Communication, handling of information.
Precisely.
Right? Yes, no, it's not faster than light. It's just, is that what subspace would be?
Well, subspace is only vaguely defined or defined in Star Trek. Yeah, but yes, you're in a computer first, and you are in subspace as a result of being in a world. Right there, what we consider a dimension, or considered something that is in existing spatial dimensions that just happens to be temporarily not accessible. And yet you have subspace communications in Star Trek, so it is accessible. And this is all that we can. Yes. That's one of the interesting things between Star Trek and Star Wars, right? I love them both. But even though Star Trek has tried to be much more scientific, that Star Wars just gave up on being scientific. It's just a space opera. And so in that sense, it's actually still kind of fun. Although it's like the Mandalorian, so you still have a little bit of science to it.
You have 299 zone, guys. Oh my gosh.
Star Wars and not so much.
You ready for another question? This time we see it's Dr. Tyson and your license to be from Tualatin, Oregon. My question is consciousness. Is consciousness a result of two concepts?
That's where people don't really understand consciousness, and nobody understands quantum physics. So you get one of those to explain the other, and we're all fucking
This is another great question. Thank you, Cindy. And in fact, this is a question that I was asked like exactly when I was at the society. I know. I said earlier, I'm still feeling really good about that meeting. I really was. I mean, the world is on fire. I mean, things. It's also been nice. Things are just messed up. But when I went there,
See what he did there?